Welcome to the Bellefleur Tire Shop Grand Falls Rapids post-game show. 4-3 shootout loss to the Yarmouth Mariners. Obviously not the way that you want to go down, but there is a lot to talk about on this edition of the post-game show. Plus, we're going to be joined by President of Hockey Operations for the Grand Falls Rapids, Mark Dubé, very shortly. So I want to go into this a little bit because this was a heck of a game, whether you were watching from a Mariners perspective or whether you were watching from a Rapids perspective. This was just dramatic from start to finish. I want to start off with the very first goal of the game came from the Yarmouth Mariners, and it was not an early goal, but it was definitely one that I'm sure the Rapids were hoping that they had back, and we'll go into that for a second. It was Lucas Boisvert who got the first goal, his third of the season, from Jared Pittman and Nathan Mossy. Now, this goal was just straight up a fantastic play. I don't know how I can really describe it better than that. It was a perfect setup, amazing pass, and a great goal to say the very least. Yarmouth adds on to their lead before the first period is up. Keith Marshall ends up getting the second goal of the game for the Mariners, his third of the season as well. Second period rolls around. Patrick Baxter answers back for the Grand Falls Rapids, but shortly later, Justin Garneau gets the goal for the Rapids, his fifth of the season. Caleb McDonald gets within one, gets his second of the game to tie it up. Lorenzo Tita gets the go-ahead goal, which was unassisted on a boggle from Loic Nadeau, and Matt Ferdinand tied the game up again to send this to overtime, and then, of course, a shootout loss in a really tough fashion. We now have President of Hockey Operations, Mark Dubé, joining the show. Mark, it was a tough shootout loss for the Rapids tonight, but a very well-played game in the second half of that game. Just your thoughts overall on how the game went.
Oh, it's not for lack of effort. The boys are working hard. They're playing together. It's starting to click even more than every week. We see a big improvement on the passes, the plays, and the communication on the ice and everything. So we're on the right track.
And I want to start off by those power play opportunities late into the game that led to the eventual tying goal to send this game to overtime. Caleb McDonald, a player who came into camp and nobody was really sure about from the fans' side, has really come in and started to make a name for himself. Your impressions of Caleb and just how he's fit into this team so far?
We had good reviews when we traded for him with Summerside, and they said you'll get offensive production from him. And so far, he's produced, and he's got that spark that eventually will lead to more offensive numbers, and I'm sure he'll click in and fit in, and he'll be an offensive contributor for our team, for sure.
And like you mentioned, there's a lot of talent on this roster, and a lot of that I'm sure people have already seen, but there's so much potential to be tapped into. Just how exciting is this team for those who have already been paying attention, but those who are really starting to gravitate towards them so far?
It's just a matter of that half second. The plays are there and everything. The intention is right on and everything, but we have a bad bounce. The puck goes over a stick and stuff like that, and we get bad breaks. Like I think it was the second goal tonight that went over his head, the goalie's head, and dropped behind them and dropped between players. So it's our record doesn't indicate the effort that's put into every game. I've seen a couple of practice this week, and the guys work really hard. And you know, the injury bug was hard on us when they went to Nova Scotia. And again this week, a freak accident with Raf Denis that led to a shoulder separation. Hopefully, he won't be out for too long. But you know, if we have a complete roster, we should do good, even better than what our record indicates.
And going beyond the game, this hockey team means so much to the community, not just around the rink, but around the community. You get to be a part of that, obviously, as the president of hockey operations. What does it mean to you to be a part of such a community-based organization like the Rapids?
Well, you can see that the community is behind us. So far this year, I think we rank 5th for attendance, and we are one of the smallest markets. So compared to Edmundston and the Summersides and the Yarmouth, but the attendance is there, the support is there, the sponsors are great, the fans are great. So we're here, and we're here for, I think, for a long time. With whatever's on the ice, it's showing. And the thing that I've noticed over the past couple of years, our team improves, but so does the league.
Yeah.
There's more talent in this league, and it's still hard to, bump it up to 4th or 3rd place, because every team is so competitive and the talent is everywhere. So, but eventually we'll click together and we'll put 4, 5, 6 wins in a row, hopefully, and we're back in the mix and probably middle of the pack in our conference.
And there was a line that you said there that really got me. The fans are great fans. Now, over the past couple of games, we haven't heard a whole lot of noise, but we started to hear some really great, people were getting into it, and everybody was getting active and getting involved in this game. How much do the fans mean, not just in the rink, but outside the rink as being supporters of this team?
Well, there's rumblings everywhere you go in town, and I see people, and it's always the same comment. They're close. They're going to get it. They're close. They're going to get it. So it's just a matter of putting 4 or 5 wins in a row and getting into that playoff contention. And eventually the fans will assist more at the games, and the boys will rub off from that. Because the more noise there is, the better the players they give themselves. They're all out. So it's impossible to give more than 100%, but these players give their 100% every game, every practice. They're clicking together outside the rink and everything. So we're on the right track. We just need a few wins in a row.
There you go. And this game itself was a testament to that, and how hard these players worked. You saw that they dragged it down to the very last second in that shootout. And it's no different than any other game like you were mentioning this season. It's just a couple of bad bounces and things that go the opposite direction, but they've obviously had a lot of really great opportunities, and I'm excited to see how they're going to build on this going into Sunday's game when West Kent comes in.
Yeah, West Kent will be a tough opposition also. But this team is up to the challenge, and they show up. So if a team shows up, you can't ask for anything more. Just a few bounces and stuff, we'll get there.
That's it. Perfect. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this there, Mark, and wishing you all the best on Sunday afternoon.
Thank you.